Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Sportcast North East Sports with Bradley Young. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Alongside me, we have Fez DeMatton. Good evening.
Oi, oi.
Down on the right-hand side, we've got Paul Wilson. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Brad.
And on the left, we have our guest, Connor Bromley.
There we are. I was going to say, you nearly got there straight time. Yeah, hello. How we doing, everyone? Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you, Connor. Good having you guest on.
Why, aye, yes.
Why, aye. So, Brad, shoot away. Sunderland won 2-1. 2-1 against Chelsea, the World Club Cup champions? What the bloody hell is that? What the hell is that?
I know, it's absolute madness, absolute craziness. Paul, would you like to have your thoughts first on the game? What's your thoughts on this 2-1 win?
To be honest, I never thought we would actually go down there and actually win them. Second time, actually, as well. But
well, mind you think when you come to the games against a club like Chelsea, like you won't expect to get the 3 points when off the record that they had before us coming to their ground. They've won 4 games off the back before facing Sunderland, so that's quite impressive. Connor, do you follow much of Chelsea's football team?
I mean, following them in the sense of seeing them on Sky Sports when they're on there. I don't have a massive interest in them per se, but I think for me this was just an opportunity for Sunderland. The Man United game was similar. That opportunities, they're not free hits. I don't really love the term of you go there for a free hit, because we go there with a plan to win the game of football, as we saw at the weekend. So for me, this felt very much like us sort of stamping our authority to say that, we're not going to have the P taken out of her. We're not going to go here and just lie down. I've seen plenty of chatter about long throws. I've seen in the Chelsea match report they put in there that we had, all of our men within 30 yards of the goal. And I think all that rhetoric's going to come. We're going to hear all this from the media, especially if we continue to do this and continue to be at the top of the league. It'll be, they've had easy fixtures. Now we went to Chelsea and won. Well, it's not the easy fixtures, but they're not playing football in the way that we want them to play. And this is all just the nonsense that we're going to have to deal with. But fundamentally, we are here
Connor, we've had it all from the Mags, from the Black and White gates up the road. And they've said non-stop that we've had easy games. Do you think that they're really, really making us sound like as stupid as what we actually aren't? Because we've actually came across some opponents that they struggled against last season. And obviously, we've came up quite strong this season so far already. It's a good start. Are you happy with that?
I think that it's one of them where it's really easy without watching Sunderland to just look at the game. I mean, we've played 9 games. We've not played 2. We've played 9. If you're saying we've had easy fixtures, that means you're saying that half the Premier League's rubbish. So
yeah, exactly. And it's not. Some of these teams have stayed up from last season. We only played who? Burnley came up this season with us?
Yeah.
It's only them so far.
But you've got to beat the teams that fundamentally are fixtures. You have to win the games that are presented. We can't help who we play. It's got nothing to do with us how the fixture computer works. So
exactly. We've only lost 2 games.
Have been easy though. Well, exactly.
We've lost 2 games. Burnley and Man U. So it shows that we haven't had really an easy start to what we think. Sometimes we went in games where we were too complacent. Especially when we went to Man U. Slacking playing Masuaku, playing against Burnley and started to play some fringe players that we won't ideally see, or some lads who's just joined. You start seeing now the chemistry building already, and it's still early days.
No, well, exactly it. And I think as we go on throughout this season, what we are going to see is that this team, in theory, should get better and better. Obviously, there's injuries, and that can hurt you. We all know that. We all know that if Granit Xhaka, touch wood, it doesn't happen, but if Granit Xhaka breaks his leg tomorrow, it's going to be a massive issue for us in the middle of the park. We know if Robin Roofs gets injured, it's a big problem, but that's a problem for every team. If Jared Bourne gets injured for West Ham, they're knackered. If for Newcastle,
they're already on knackered. They're already on knackered.
Well, exactly it though. If Newcastle lost Bruno, how they would struggle in the midfield. Every team's got these players, and fundamentally, we can only look after ourselves. We can't help the fixture list. Yes, you know what? If we were being honest and we were designing the fixture list at the start of the season, we would have given ourselves a team like West Ham at home on the opening day. Like we would have.
Exactly. But mind you, though, you can't override West Ham because West Ham can be one of them teams who could just wake up one day, go, that's it, we're here.
Yeah.
The players who
It's-
play for England and different nationalities, you beat them on your home turf for the home game. That was the setting stone for Sunderland for that momentum to carry on. And the fans and the buzz and the atmosphere, that's what we feed off quite a lot of Sunderland. We always have done.
Yeah.
And there's pressure, isn't there, on these games? If we play to start the season, we've had obviously West Ham, we've had Burnley, we've had Wolves, Brentford. That's been our first 3 games to start the season. The pressure we had on them games was massive. If we lost against West Ham on the opening day, and I remember sitting in the stadium like when we were playing Brentford and being 1-0 down on 77 minutes and thinking, oh, if we lose today, we are in deep doo-doo without a paddle. And
Yeah, it would have been a wake-up call that we need, like, oh, crap, welcome
massive
to the
pressure.
Prem.
It's huge pressure on these games, and we've
But
come
you
through it.
You see these lads, the young lads on the pitch, like Sadiq, he's only 20. I've seen how calm they are on that pitch. For feeling that pressure, being the first team back in the Premier League after 8 or 9 years, and they're coming in there so calmly and so efficient. And it's absolutely amazing, honestly. Amazing
Feels like-
football you're watching. And these are kids who are still not matured yet.
It feels like Reggie Scalabris has managed this team for years, who he's brought in. That's how good it is.
Yeah, exactly. We look like a team that has known each other for a long, long time, and it's what's interesting for me is the mentality. It's the fact that we had this mentality at the end of last season with not a totally different squad of players, but a largely different squad of players, and they've managed to take that into the new season, and we've now got a different 7 or 8 players that are new into the start 11. We brought in 13, 14 players into the team.
Yeah, quite a lot. Quite a lot. We spent a lot of money.
Mentality, though, it stayed there, which you have to say, well done. Obviously, we talk about the recruitment, well done there, but the manager, we have to say, just fair play. He's been able to do this, and he deserves all the credit in the world.
A few football fans who I follow on Twitter, a lot of them said Reggie's landed lucky on the job that he's had. Because the previous job before on at Lorient, they were a relegation side. He's came into the team with Florian Gazzofi, a former Roma recruitment manager, and also a guy who's just pretty much came on the scene in the Premier League now, Christian Speakman, after years in League One and Championship. The recruitment's been bang on. And as much as people's criticised it before, but do you think that model and infrastructure has been there for a while?
But yeah, I mean, I think what we saw in the Championship is, we have to be honest, we got out of the Championship on a shoestring budget. We got out of the Championship without spending fortunes, and we got there from using academy players, free transfers,
young players coming in from other clubs, young players, the Jobs and all them, definitely.
Yeah, and what we've done that is now we've got in the Premier League, we've just sort of supercharged it. We are now able to spend, instead of 1 million on a player, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, and we're seeing that it's working.
Honest God, right? You're saying about the money that we spend of this summer so far. The best bargain buy, everyone said, is Robin Roos. But I've only just seen the fee that we paid for Nordy McWillie was only 9.5 million. That's the biggest deal of the whole Premiership window, and everyone's been talking about that. So, what's your opinions on Nordy this season so far, then, to this current point right now, then, Connor?
I think you'd have to say that he shouldn't be playing for Sunderland, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Sunderland. What I mean is he shouldn't be playing for a team that isn't at the top end Champions League contending. He should be starting for. I mean, look at Liverpool defense right now, and they've got Canate, who's really struggling, Van Dijk struggling. McWaley would slot into there beautifully.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
And that's credit to us. And
obviously, you look at obviously must be the connection through Reggie, because again, this player Nordy played with Dembele, who's regularly seen that stadium, with Kirill. You see a lot of French people around the club. So do you think that's that bonus factor for him? People that he knows made him come here. Connections. Well,
Xhaka played with him, didn't he? And that has probably been a big factor.
And it's not that he came from a Champions League winning side of PSG. Yeah. He came up from a Champions League winning side, being on loan at Bayer Leverkusen, who won the Bundesliga. That is an actual fantastic recruitment so far this summer. It is legit performed on pitch, hasn't it? You see Forest last season, they'd done exactly that. The first season, they spent loads of money. They spent nearly by 20 players, and that did not work. 14 players in for Sunderland so far, and it's been absolutely amazing. Paul, what do you think about that so far then? With 14 new players in, with 9 games in, and they look like they've been the team of the century so far.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm I'm actually happy with them so far. That the way these have came in. Sure, well, we just will know some of them, but what Lawrence just put there, though. Granit Xhaka actually spoke to Jermaine Defoe before actually coming to Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's amazing, like how we've done it. It's been absolutely top tier. And again, we've signed some players that no one's heard of, like Chemstein Talby.
Yeah.
Chemstein Talby, no one heard of. Bear in mind, if you watch Champions League football, you've seen him play against a few teams in the Europa League last year. And he got man of the match twice for Club Brugge. And he was outstanding as well. So again, are we signing higher? Were we punching above our weight in the transfer window? Do you reckon then? Do we think we were punching?
I don't think we're. I think it's not a case of us punching. I think it's us having a clear plan.
Ambition.
Ambition, but we're able to set clearly what Sunderland can do. And I think Leeds is a good comparison because they're in the same position. Leeds struggled to attract players that we were able to sign because I think clearly our plan and what we present to players is very, very interesting and ambitious for players. If you look at Granit Xhaka, he would have been signed by probably 15 Premier League teams if he was available this summer. The fact is we convinced him to choose us and buy into the project.
And all that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the dominoes that come from that, though, is once people see Granit Xhaka signs for Sunderland, it becomes
it's going to make more people want to come.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Definitely will.
Look at it.
And then you look at the likes of Mukiele who signed now. That's going to bring people like who's played for the France national team. You go, why is he signing for them? He's class. Oh, wait a sec, they got a project. Let's go there. And that's exactly what it is. And obviously, all that led towards the point where we're at now, where we currently sit fourth in the Premier League. So, sitting fourth right now, do you think that you would have seen that beginning of the season before the season starts and it would be fourth within 9 games
100%.
in?
100% not. No. No.
I didn't know half the players. The only ones that came from the Premier League and Brian Blobby, or Blobby, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I think if you look at where we are right now, and for me, look, I know you've got on the title here, potentially Europe on the cards, but it's all about 40 points first. I was always the same in the Championship. You want to hit 50 points. You want to make sure you're over that line, and then you worry about what you can do from there, because the Premier League can be brutal, and we can easily lose 4 or 5 games in a row through no fault of our own. And that's why you've got, I mean, I think the manager said this after the game. For them, it's just about, right, hit 40 points, then we'll see where we are from this. So I think fans, to be fair, I think we can all get carried away and look at the league table and screenshot it and be buzzing that we're fourth in the table. But I think the players and the management and the coaching staff in the club are very much thinking we need to hit 40 points. Then
the problem is now is that we are 7 weeks away from AFCON, where most of our players are going to be away at. Only 7 weeks away. That's not long. There's an international gap in between as well.
We're not losing, though. It'll be hurt, but our defence is. I know Ronaldo would obviously come out, but we've still got Dennis Serkin there, so our defence is going to be fine.
We've also got Maswatu out as well, so but Serkin might be coming back, which is a brilliant sign as well.
And then my midfield 3, Xhaka will be here, provided he's fit.
Yeah,
Faye will be here, provided that he's fit, obviously. Dan Neil, we've still got, I know some people aren't sold on him, but fundamentally he's there. He's an option. Chris Riggs an option as well. Gertruda can play in central midfield. So we do have options there. It's not like, I think
we do, definitely.
There's a perception that I see online that AFCON is just going to basically mean that Sunderland are playing the youth team. And that's not going to be the case.
The only problem that we will lack on that is the wingers as well, because we'll be missing Talby, Idingra. Mind you, Lefebvre can play on the wing, but who else can play on that right?
Think about it. Who can play on that left? He'll be back soon. Remain Bundle, and he's going to be.
Bundle, right? Because Bundle's meant to be back as well. So we've got some players like that. Obviously, will they be able to perform to that standard? Maybe not. They've been out for a while.
Mayenda can go on the right. Isidore can go on the left.
Stuff like that. We've got some good players who's versatile as well coming into that as well. But anyways, talking about back to the Chelsea Sunderland game. Okay, I'm going to read out the stats, a few stats what I read out before I came on with Paul and Brad. Apparently, Chelsea had 15 shots while Sunderland had 10. They've had 8 shots on target. We had 4, and apparently Chelsea had 64 possession to our 36, which I saw is completely different on the TV. in company what I've seen on my phone. Do you think that some actual media's out there was actually rooting for Chelsea, being all biased towards them with them being a big club? Because it was a different stat on that pitch compared to that stat sheet.
I think though you control the ball. It's like the Coventry playoff game. You control the game, without the ball. If we don't allow Chelsea into the areas they want to be, their best players are Caicedo and Fernandes. That's how they win games. That engine room in there, we nullify that, and we're very comfortable saying to teams, you know what, we just keep you out the central area. It's very difficult to score a goal when you aren't in the center of the pitch. So we let teams have it on the wing and stuff. So the possession stats, it's almost irrelevant. You win games of football by having a plan. And if I'm letting you have the ball on the wing, that isn't you controlling the ball. That's me saying it's better for you to have the ball over there. And that's what we do. So the possession stat, honestly, stuff like that, it means nothing. It's about the flow of the game. And you're right, I was watching the game and my view on it was Sunderland were very, very much in it and were dominant is a strong word, but certainly no reason why they won the game. Yeah.
Look more dangerous. Again, this is where I'm going to read out what I probably noticed as well. You saw Chelsea, when they scored that goal, they were really keen for it. But we were too fast for them a little bit on that pitch. We executed fast plays compared to them, which led to them losing a little bit of focus, let them start. They literally went, holy crap, Sunderland coming up with. They were expecting us to drop our heads. And obviously, they were spoke about the mentality of the players. I think the mentality is actually right for once. They got it fixed for a change.
Look at the second goal. Look at the fact that Gertruda wins the ball, plays a long ball. Robbie holds it up. There's two Chelsea defenders there. One of them just stands there.
Only took them 6 seconds to find the man.
Yeah. The thing is, he's just left the Chelsea defender. Chalobah is just, it's like his controllers came out. He's just stood there like a plum. And then he passes it to Talby.
He was in wide open space.
But if you watch the far up high camera, you can see that the Chelsea players aren't tracking back. Our centre back who played the ball has made it all the way into their box before one of their midfielders come back. So it's all about determination and desire.
Exactly, it's how you want to perform on the pitch, isn't it? And the mindset of the game. If you think that you have a chance of winning, you want to play and focus, don't you? Yes, Brad?
I've got my thoughts on the game as well, just to let you know from the Chelsea 2-1 win.
All right.
My thoughts on the game, I thought we started quite slow for the first 5 minutes. Obviously, Ronaldo loses the ball in the middle of the park, and obviously Garnacho scored in the 4th minute. And I think the only defender was there. I think it was Nordi Mukiele, and obviously I don't think he got past him at that time. But unfortunate for Mukiele in that position. But I thought we reacted quite smartly after that, going from 1-0 down. I thought obviously that throw in from Nordi, obviously to find Traore was absolutely magnificent. And obviously Wilson to tap that in, superb. Obviously after that goal as well, I thought we managed the game quite well. Obviously against a Champions League opposition side, Chelsea, who will be in the Champions League this season. Obviously UEFA Conference League last season. So obviously second half for a goal in our time was obviously pretty much the ball up from Gertruda. Obviously kicks it up. Obviously then Robbie holds it up. Then obviously waits for someone and just waits and waits and waits. And I think he just confuses the Chelsea defenders what he's doing. So pretty much he passes it to Talby and he slots it in the bottom right corner. And it's 2-1. And to be honest, I thought our away end as well was absolutely class on Saturday. I thought we sang our hearts out until the very end.
You heard our fans more than theirs. And for a big club like Chelsea, a big club with 42,000 capacity stadium, you would think that they'd make a little bit of noise.
I heard
but our away end made so much noise.
I heard our fans on TV. That's how good it was. I heard our fans on.
Yeah, that's all I heard. It was just.
You hear it on the highlights. You hear it on what do you call it? Which just got uploaded the away thing, where they showed the fans and the thing behind the scenes and that. That there, brilliant. Honest to God, it shows it, doesn't it?
Definitely 100%.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to talk about, obviously, again, about the game going into it. So, obviously, the lineup, what we had where we played Traore, me and Paul and Braz always had our little slander about him. But he's actually done something good because in that game, when that throw-in came in, the ball was thrown in to Ballard. He headed it out and it went to Traore's foot before hitting Isidore to go in. Obviously, it was a good little bit of a play there. Obviously, it was a bit of a scrappy goal, wasn't it, lads? Honestly, you think someone's got to be able to tap that in. You had all their defence looking absolutely baffled where that ball was
Just
when you watch back.
From
was
their
very
point of view,
much,
from Chelsea.
Sorry, go on, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on, Brad.
From obviously Chelsea's point of view, I thought that was very a scrappy goal to concede. To be honest, like Lee says, it was quite scrappy. But yeah, I thought we finished it quite well. To be fair,
But it's all about the carnage that is caused by the long throws, and you see it's because the ball comes in at no pace, high in the air. It's so hard to defend, and McCready is able to get it so far into the. I mean, what he's headed it in? Is it headed away from the 6-yard box? That looks like.
Yeah, it was. It was like he was heading out of there. Yeah, that was like the Rory Delap throw from back in like 2005.
Yeah.
Honestly, God, that throw was amazing. Honestly, God.
It's given us goals, and that's the thing. Like when we looked so dangerous, and one of the reasons I've been determined to have 3 centre backs on the pitch at times this season is because our centre backs in the opposition box are an absolute pain in the arse to defend against.
It is because, especially when you got Alderete back. Alderete is 6'3". You got Ballard 6'2". McGeary is 6'2". Them are 3 towers at the back, not one short person. I think Alderete might be a little bit taller than that. But besides that, Howard, that's actually amazing. Then you got Isidore probably in the box as well, 6'1". Players like that in the box is going to cause a scene. Because you only have 4 defenders. Defenders might be wanting to watch someone else. We've got midfield like Siddiqui, who's got some athleticism where you can jump and win headers. You got some players out there who's so much like threat in the box. That ball landed them.
If you look at the goal as well, the guy who's marking Traore at the edge of the box, well, sort of on the inside of the box, is I think Pedro Neto. And what happens is that Chelsea are so worried about the throw, they've put all of their men sort of on the first contact, which therefore means when it comes out to Traore is basically got a free swing at it because Neto doesn't want to defend it.
I didn't think you knew what you was doing when you hit that ball. Like, he looked more shocked than anything.
That's the thing, though, that it gets you. The opposition teams are so concerned about us from these set pieces that they're not doing that. They're leaving their attacking players to sort of defend the second balls, and that means we can win the second balls, which is basically how we score the goal. We score the goal because Chelsea don't defend the first ball, lose the second one, and then as soon as it's fired towards the goalkeeper, it's a case of, well, does the keeper save it? Can we get a man in the way? And what we've ended up doing is we get a man in the way and it ends up falling in.
It looked like carnage for Chelsea players because you look like it's at one point they were all going to run into each other. It's all clamped to one person. A few people stayed there. Then obviously you got Isidore just slightly a little bit behind where the ball's just gone through there. But Chaz, mate, whack. He didn't hesitate. He didn't hesitate compared when we had players before where they would hesitate and try to do it. It might go in from Traore. Whatever, now just whack it in. So I want that goal.
It comes down to desire. If you think Premier League games, and obviously now we've played 9, a lot of them are fine margins, and often the margin is settled by just the extra 1 or 2% from just desire to win the balls, desire to get on the end of balls, desire to just
make
yourself.
That big leap down the pitch kind of thing, like where someone's running at you, you go, shall I risk that challenge? Oh, sorry, go on then. We're in a Prem, we need to take risks. It's the risk what you take, isn't it? As a player, you take that risk. It's the next risk that you're going to take. And also, we've been performing so well with that recently. But also, I want to get onto another subject about it. Like, we're talking about Traore with that setup of the goal. But Talby came on and he was a big game changer, wasn't he? When he came on, showed that electricity and pace. What do you think about that then? Or that Talby's been on the bench and the dingers and that. Do you think that's the right, smart idea, or do you think we need to start seeing him a bit more?
Well, to be honest, I was looking. I think probably the reason why Traore actually played for Chelsea.
Yeah, but he played years ago when he was like, some sort of good talented player where he looked like the next Drogba. He's playing striker, not winger.
Yeah, but Chelsea know him. That's maybe why we just
not really. Half the squad's completely changed when he was there. It was 2015 when he was there. It's been 10 years since he left Chelsea.
I think that the question with Talby for me is on the left, he's a very different player to what he is on the right. He's poor when he
Exactly.
plays on the right.
That's what I was
but
going to
when he's
say.
on the left.
Do we start Talby on the left? Because he, honest God, I said that as well to the lads. If Talby's on left, he's a big threat. He's a big danger.
The problem
Because he can shoot. He can shoot. We saw in the game against Man U when in Burnley a few times where he's in the ball's on his left foot. He won't shoot that ball. But if the ball's on his right foot, he is comfortable enough to put him on the left.
That is, I think this is it's an interesting decision because I was confused in the summer why we were targeting another left winger. Why I thought we needed another right winger. I don't know why we got rid of Patrick Roberts. I feel like he could potentially be an answer for us right now on the right wing. It's certainly, well, you're not a big fan, but I think Patrick Roberts is offering for me more than what Traore largely is.
Mind you, I say beg to differ, but I think they are a bit on par on skill and level of beating the man.
We've let go of Patrick Roberts, and I don't think we've replaced him. I don't think I think we needed another right winger on top of Traore / Roberts, and the fact they've let go of Roberts.
Would you say Roberts is that Premier League quality then, or do you think we just need to upgrade on him?
No, I think we need to upgrade on Patrick Roberts, but I think we haven't upgraded the right wing position. Is basically what I'm saying. I think Traore, he might get better as he plays more. He's obviously got Premier League experience, and I'm not writing him off as a player, but I do think that it's clear that right wing's an area that we haven't got a top quality player, and I think everywhere else on the pitch we do.
Yeah, it's just absolutely way that I say it. There it is, but I think it's quite similar by skill level because he can't do the fancy stuff. He can beat a man, but is he going to take them shots? Is he going to take risks? Last season we saw Roberts with only 6 goal contributions last season in a championship. In the Premier League, it's a complete different ball game to a championship.
Sometimes those players, I don't want to spend my whole time defending Patrick Roberts. I like Patrick Roberts. I don't think he would be getting, 5 Premier League goals and 5 assists this season. But I do think that at the moment we are putting at times square pegs in round holes when it comes to that right wing because we don't have another proper option on that right side other than
later
Traore.
on in the live. I'm going to mention that we are linked with a proper right-sided winger, but that'll be later on because obviously this is from an inside source. So I've been told. But I'll mention that a little bit later. But obviously, again, we're just going to just talk about this game at the moment. As the live gets on, we can talk about more. But anyways, away from the attacking half, now we're going to speak about Robin Roos. Absolute baller as a goalkeeper. 7.16 safe ratio, making him number 1 in the English Premier League. What's everyone's opinions on that? Because that's absolutely breathtaking. He's well above Pope. So, what do you think about Roos so far this season then, Connor?
I've been very impressed. I think he's got calmness about him, and I think not a dig on Anthony Patterson. I like Anthony Patterson, and he's done a really good job for us. But I have a sense of calm when balls come in the box now, which I didn't really have with Patterson. I felt Patterson at times was a little bit flappy on the ball, and I think you can see now that Roos looks like a top-end Premier League goalkeeper. I'm not even talking about like a middling Premier League goalkeeper, which, you mentioned Nick Pope. Nick Pope, for me, is like a middling he's an average Premier League goalkeeper. He's not a great kick, but he's a decent shot stopper. I think Roos looks like he kind of has all these boxes ticked. He's very comfortable claiming crosses. He's a very good shot stopper. His feet are underrated. The amount of times he splits.
It's a long ball that he can play. It's actually amazing. He can ping a pass better than some of our midfielders.
You can at times, and I think that we're looking here at a guy that they've taken a big risk on him. He's got 1 season of professional football behind him. They've taken a big risk signing him in, and it looks like it's paid off. He's been, I would say, the best keeper in the league so far.
Speaking about his past last season in the Dutch league, he was ranked number 1, ranked in the top 2 percentile for the most clean sheets in the Dutch league. Again, you say Dutch league's a bit more weaker than ours, but he came in from nowhere. Absolutely great. And Paul will even back me up on this. We were meant to sign him on a permanent, it was meant to be a loan.
Yeah,
but we managed to get him back a permanent. I don't know how we've done it, but it's been a very good buy. And a lot of teams did not look at him. Which made him go completely under the radar.
This is when, with Sunderland, we have to take risks in the summer market because we are a team that is obviously newly promoted and we need to upgrade our squad all over the place. We took a risk there, but all of the risks have been calculated. Like you could argue, is Siddiqui a risk? He's what 20 years old, midfielder, played in the
He's
Belgian league.
killing leaps and bounds as well.
Yeah, and he looks. We didn't know if we were signing him for like a prospect for the future or if we were signing him to be a starter. But already, what would Noah Siddiqui go for on the open market if he was for sale? Are we talking 60 million quid?
Well, what I looked at, because obviously before we signed him, I done my little research on players that we might be going for. Get inside tell told me about Siddiqui before it came out on media. I looked him up well beforehand as well because he was playing in the Belgian league, and he was ripping the Belgian league apart and got young player of the year. And a young player of the year in the Belgian league is still impressive for the competitive nature of what they are. That's equivalent to a championship stature, maybe. So someone getting that level at the age of 18, 19-year-old, that's a great thing to get as a prize before coming to the Premier League for Siddiqui.
Absolutely. And I think that we can look at, Siddiqui and Roofs are the perfect examples of taking really good calculated risks. The fact is that both of those players were probably going to translate the Premier League. The Belgian League is quite similar to the Premier League in terms of running and physicality. Obviously, it's nowhere near the level of quality. But
yeah, exactly. It's completely different.
Yeah, but Siddiqui has came in and looks physically capable, and he's also got the technical side of the game.
And he's so calm. He's so calm. You don't see him losing his head or anything. Even at the end of the game, you see him fitting in quite well with the fans as well. He's blended in very well, Siddiqui. And again, I'm going to mention this: the players that came in, replicating off the Chelsea game. You've seen them at the end of the Chelsea game. They're not going directly down the tunnel. All the players are out there. They're congratulating the fans. They're legit enjoying themselves and giving each other piggybacks off the pitch, man. You don't see that a team doing that against Chelsea after a win. Back like they're going to win a cup, but we're all playing like a team who might win something this season. Do you think that personally? Do you think that we could win something this season? Some sort of award?
No, I don't think we'll win a trophy. I think because we saw the attitude with the Carabao Cup, which irritated me. And I know that we never obviously go out to lose a game. I'm not saying that, but we have got knocked out of that competition, which would have given us a chance to play. Like Dan Neil, for example, hasn't played.
Some of the friends, to get some legs on them. Yeah.
And if Dan Neil, say Noah Siddiqui got injured this week in training, and I'll touch wood again, so it won't happen. But if that happens, Dan Neil is probably the natural replacement. We know the manager said this when Siddiqui went down against Palace. He played the rest of the game, but he said Dan Neil was going to be the substitute. So we already know that basically Dan Neil and Siddiqui, Dan Neil's his backup, and because we got knocked out the Carabao Cup so early, we haven't been able to give Dan Neil a lot of minutes, and you'd worry about him starting a game now because he's played about 6 minutes since the start of the season, other than the one Carabao Cup game. So I think the cup competitions, I don't think are a priority for us. I think fundamentally, though, if we are sat in January and we are, say, 30 points.
No, don't Keith. I mean, Keith made me at work, say chat and crap. I'm from South Shields, he sounds a Jody. Shut up, Keith. Shut up. He calls us a mad because I'm from South Shields, right? But nothing wrong with that.
How does that make you South Shields? If you're from South Shields, you're clearly Sunderland.
And I'm Sanders. I'm close to Sunderland. He just doesn't mind. The man pulled me leg, man.
It's working though.
And actually knows he gets a bite, doesn't he? But honestly, God, again, like we say though, the contemplation is: are we getting carried away this season so far, or are we going to continue going forward with the same mentality as fans? Even the fans are now getting that mentality.
Are we getting carried away? Maybe, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When we got beat up Bolton, what was it, 3 years ago, 6-0 away? I think it was 2022, January 22. So it's not that long ago. Yeah. We were losing 6-0 in League One away from home, and now we've just won away at Chelsea. I think absolutely Sunderland fans should get carried away and enjoy it. And you know what? Yeah, we won't finish. It's very unlikely we'll finish in the Champions League positions or finish where we are right now, but just enjoy it. Like if we beat Everton next week, we've got Arsenal coming up the week after. That could be first against second in November.
Yeah. In September. Like I said, right, I was at work before I left. I was speaking to Keith, who was in the comment, and I said, well, if the Geordies could get carried away, why the hell can't we? They had it for years, belittling us, taking the piss out of her. It's about time we do it, isn't it? But we always get the stick. Like, I don't know, did you watch the Talk Sport when the Geordie guy rang up
Yeah, I did.
and
Yeah,
was talking about Sunderland straight away? That's a key point of where Newcastle's really obsessed with us if we stop winning games. They see us as a threat, so they're going to start talking smack about us. But we're just coming into the league, reformed squad, and we look really, really well. And like, beating a team like Chelsea, who's a club world champions, like again what I said, that's if you're saying to me that we're not in Europe contention now after doing that already, it's early talks about it, but it's really showing it. A lot
I
of
don't
places-
think. I just think it'll be. I need to see Sunderland, get this sale of game 15 or 16 before I start thinking about, because one, I don't want to get too. I mean, I've been obviously a Sunderland fan all my life, and I'm aware that this
Same
club
here,
is
since
it has
the day I was born.
it has an ability though to kick you in the nuts, and it always has. So I'm
Yeah.
not like willing to get totally carried away and sort of dive into. Do you know what? I'm still at the weekend. My mentality right now, still at the weekend, I watched Burnley play Wolves on Sunday because I'm thinking that game's probably got more permutations for us. Even though it might not, even though we might finish in the top sort of 8 or 9, I still think that way. I'm still thinking about the relegation. I'm still looking at West Ham and Wolves and Forest and Leeds and Burnley and Fulham and all them teams who I think are going to be down there and thinking, right, we need to make sure we're maintaining our ludicrous 15-point gap over Wolves.
Yeah, but again, you only see big teams winning a lot of games and getting 17 points in 9 games, averaging on 1.88 points per game. Only big teams do that. We've been proving that. But we've been doing stuff better than Tottenham. And that's when you say, like, when we come against Everton, Tottenham just hammered Everton. So why can't we?
I don't see a reason why we can't. I think I'm just naturally pessimistic. I refuse to allow myself to get excited.
Yes, thank you, Keith. Thank you. Wait till I see you tomorrow, Keith. Or saying that. Wait until tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow, mate. But honestly, God, though, European contention's quite good, though. I really do say that. I really do. And besides the point, Michael Bauer saying the other day when I was out with him, he said if we get 40 points and survive, he's more than happy. I am too, again, because just coming up. But why not be a bit ambitious? Why not? Leicester done it after the second season. Why not we be the first team, to come up and finish in the Champions League spot or Europa League? I don't think many teams have done that. And again, we are actually performing on the pitch like a European quality team. We really are.
We absolutely are, and I think that if you said this to me before we played Chelsea, I would have just laughed at you. Like, I would have been like, no, we're getting far too there. But the fact we've beaten Chelsea does allow you to start thinking, do you know what? Maybe we are. I think it's a good question of where is the ceiling for this team. If everything keeps going the way it is, are we actually a legitimate threat to the sort of top 6 or 7 in this league? The evidence we've seen so far is very much yes. The problem is it's 9 games, and we can
9 games. It's like the honeymoon period in a relationship, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So you never know.
It's like if you fall in love with your club again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting the excitement and all that.
Next week we play against Everton, and if we beat them and we're sat on 20 points, we're halfway to the 40 points, then you can maybe again start dreaming a little bit more. But I'm just right now, I'm very much of the opinion that this is an amazing start, but I'm just so acutely aware that the Premier League can be a horrible league.
I'm going to mention something because I've just had a little look on my little other handheld there, right? In Dini's Team of the Week, and in Sky Sports as well, and many others, this is Sunderland's 5th time in a row nearly, where at least 2 Sunderland players have been on Team of the Week. For Dini's for this week just gone was Shaka Isidore and Roofs. I personally think that Michele got robbed of that because he actually had a fantastic game. Michele should have been right in that.
To be honest, I totally agree with you, Lee. He should have been in it, 100%.
But obviously, again, you can't write off the Shaka's. Shaka's been in it every single time for Sunderland. But again, there's obviously other players who need to be acknowledged just like a little bit, hasn't there? There's going to be some other players who need to be acknowledged.
He's our main man, though, isn't he? People look at Sunderland and just immediately just see... whenever I talk to somebody who doesn't support Sunderland about Sunderland...
Maybe say Granit Xhaka because obviously, his time at Arsenal, his time at Leverkusen and Switzerland and all. He's a well-known, he's a household Premier League player. Again, but I'm speaking on behalf of the also found alongside Sunderland, Shaka can play crap at times. And so he's done it at Leverkusen as well, where they've lost some big games because of him. He scored two own goals last season even. So he's not the full confident player that we think he is. He's come into the side as a leader, but again, he's come into a different role. Though.
He's got a different role here to what he's had before. Now he's the manager on the pitch. If you watch him,
he was at Arsenal.
He was. But I think the difference is that he's now 33. He's got so much experience. He's bought into this club so much, and I think that he genuinely has the run of the dressing room. He has on the pitch. You watch him. He is the guy who is controlling this team. And I'm not saying he won't have bad games. He'll get stupid red cards. He might. But I think right now, what we are seeing, the first 9 games we've seen of him this season,
he's been so calm.
And the thing is his legs haven't gone. I've seen today that he's got the most miles run in the Premier League this season by any player.
Yeah,
he's also matched as well.
Yeah, and I don't think he's been dropped yet, isn't he? He's just a natural leader on the side with the calmness and all that. Again, what I like to see, done when you watch the behind the scenes stuff and all that, you see him here as like the coach on the pitch. He's came as a player with the prospect of doing his coaching badges at the club, and you see it. He's bringing the players in hurdles before the game starts. He's
potentially our next manager.
Possibly,
if all goes to plan, if obviously Lebris is here for the next 3 or 4 years and either moves upstairs or gets a move somewhere else, Granit Xhaka 100% within his plan right now must be to be either a director at Sunderland or a coach at Sunderland. And I don't
even
think
in the academy, academy, you know what I mean? Because again, you see the complete difference between the academy to now with the coaches even. But again, if he can become the 21 manager, do you think he can implement the Reggie style into that system?
I think he could, and I think that this is what's really exciting about Sunderland is they've got a plan.
There's a lot of the project, isn't it? The project's big.
That's what they've sold them on, and I think that Xhaka, I'm not saying he will be the next manager, and obviously this is just very much in the future. He's got 3 years, I think, contract here, but I think after those 3 years, I think they've clearly thought, right, if you're finished playing and you're no longer at the level, you're going to stay here and you're going to be in some major role at this football club. But I think that's really exciting. I think it's really exciting to have a player like Granit Xhaka just totally bought into this football club, moving to the area and just buying it. I mean, this is a world-class player. Finished 16th in Ballon d'Or vote a couple of years ago. He's just a phenomenal footballer that is completely bought into this club. And with him here, I just have confidence that we'll be fine. He's like, there's not many players like this, but you just sort of look at them and you just like, we've got him, so we'll be good. We'll be fine. We'll take along. We'll win games.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that winning mentality. So yeah, 100%. Again, you mentioned about the coaching setup and all that. We've had a lot of changes with the coaching setup since the start of the season. And it shows that this coaching staff knows what they're doing. Even Reggie Lebris sits down, his assistant's up and he knows what he's doing. Is that something that we've done quite well as well, bringing the right coaches in?
Well, the set piece coach.
Who is that set piece coach? Is that the Spanish dude, Ramon?
No, we've bought him in from Charlton. I can't remember his name. But we got him in from Charlton before the start of the season.
Yeah, but he's done well. Really has. The goalkeeping coach, honest to God, he came from working with Sam Johnston to Robin Root.
It came from
been a massive change, and he's done really well, Cutler. Really has. Boxer took over first team coaching role. All that, everything's been a change over in the big summer. You've seen, some coaches brought in then chopped straight away. That Pedro Ribeiro, even. He was tipped to be the Reggie's replacement if Reggie was to go. We just got rid of him. He wasn't in it. You'd seen that he wasn't in it on its coaching line, so we've recruited well with coaching and players. So again, that's why I'm saying I'm getting a bit carried away myself with the club. Yes, Brad?
I think getting in there, what do you call them as well? Is it Luciano Vacano or someone like that?
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, Luciano Vacano.
Yeah, I think getting him in as well, he's been a great.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, Brad. He's just coming in, he's right there, and even him, he's been around. He's been at Juventus, he's been with Ronaldo twice. He's been around some heck of players. Do you think that he might even be the next Reggie if let's say Reggie got big enough? Do you think that he might be around?
Who knows?
That's what we've got to say. We've got a lot of future coaches, a lot of young coaches as well, in the first round, the first team.
100%.
Ramon Isidre, got brought in from the Spanish league. He used to work for Barcelona and also Real Betis, who also went to Roma, who knows our, head director of football. That's something great that we've seen. Obviously, the connection's been absolutely solid.
But I tell you what, man, there's one person who I don't fault at all is our Florent Gasol. I really love him. What he's done for us.
He's been amazing this season.
If
it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be beating Chelsea's, and it wouldn't be for him. It wouldn't be for him really. But mind you, though, when I was mentioned before, as European contention, right? I was working the last match, and I overheard because I was working on the bar, and some people's going past, and the directors come past. And all I heard was saying, "Oh, so what's your plan then, Krill and Christian, in the next couple of years? Europe. He wants to be in Europe in 2 years." That's a very ambitious idea. If that's the picture that he's putting the players, that's definitely going to bring the players in, especially when you're going to be competing against the Chelsea's and that.
But I think you can look at. I believe that the football club is aiming to be, Aston Villa and Newcastle, one of these teams that's getting into Europe and getting into the top 6 consistently. I mean, that's exactly the aim in terms of the size of clubs: Sunderland, Everton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Leeds. We're all big clubs who should be competing in the top sort of 8 of the Premier League. And I think that the fact we finally got owners who are ambitious enough to see it, and that people in there who have come up with a plan. I mean, this isn't Ellis Short who was just throwing money at it without hope and just sort of.
Well, mind you, Ellis back in the Ellis Short days, we were signing Deadwood players, weren't we?
Yeah,
it was the championship. Deadwood players wasn't winning you anything. The odd loan of Annan Januzaj wasn't going to make the impact when you just lost Adam Johnson to Prison FC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you had like Diliboji as well, you had the likes of him.
Replacing corners and stuff like that, exactly. Right?
Look how we recruit now, and it shows that I think this club's deadly serious. And I don't know if Europe this season, look, it could happen. I think if we can win the next few games, I'll certainly start joining that bandwagon. Not there quite yet, although I'm getting close. But I think that the fact is that we are heading in the right direction. I think if you were to ask me where Sunderland are going to be in 5 years' time, I think my bold thing is, we can possibly play in Europe. We can possibly get in the Champions League because we've seen Aston Villa do it. We've seen, I think Bournemouth will probably do it this season. They look really, really good right now. We've obviously seen
Bournemouth have done it again.
We've seen a lot of teams get in there. Leicester have been close in the years past. Forest nearly got in there last season. And Forest is a smaller club than Sunderland. And I know they've won a lot. They've won in Europe and stuff. But fundamentally, we should be aiming to be there or thereabouts. I think the fact that,
exactly.
I'm 31 and Sunderland in my life have never really been near getting into Europe. So it's hard for me to
I think the news would be had Kevin Phillips at the time Peter Reid was in charge, finishing 7th, or the Darren Bent 24 goals that season, finishing 8th. That was the closest we've ever been for a long time.
I think that there is no reason why in the next, provided nothing horrendous happens, I don't see there's any reason why we can't get into Europe and be competing for them places.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we've got a goal mapped out.
Don't you think as well, obviously bringing in like some Noah Siddiqui and Nordi Mukiele and Jamstein Talby, aren't we trying to go for Champions League like this season or next season? Aren't we trying to do that? Because I think we are, because it's pretty much match to match, really, isn't it, if you think about it? Obviously, Noah Siddiqui used to play, I think, Union St. Gilles?
They just qualified for Champions League this season from him playing for them last season. They won the league.
Yeah. Jamstein Talby, he was in the league last season.
Champions League, Shakhtar is no then.
Yeah.
I think the only person who signed in who wasn't in the Champions League or in the top league was Robin Roos. Not in the top stature. His team was third of bottom last season, and he came in still with a good clean sheet ratio, despite being third of bottom, and he came and actually bossed it. And again, you got to really praise the recruitment, obviously, where we are. Again, doesn't dictate how we're going to play on the pitch. So, yeah. Anyways, getting back to the game, because we veered off again. Right, we're going to talk about how my thing of Chelsea was against Sunderland. There was a lot of complaints of referees. Players go in referees' faces still. And that rule was put in place ages ago about going in the referee's face. If you're not a captain, you get booked immediately. Happened to Dan Neil last season. It happened to a few other players this season as well, but they got yellow by just shouting at a referee. It happened to Ronaldo. So do you think, why is these teams getting away with it and we're not?
We can look at, is it the fact that it's Chelsea and they're playing at home and they're one of the perceived big teams? I don't know. I think that there's teams that are quite just known for it, aren't they? Like you see Liverpool do this all the time, surround the referee, and that constantly in the referee's ears and stuff. And I think that we did a really good job because we just didn't rise to it. We very much just were like, do you know what? There was a Trey Hume tackle and it was a perfect tackle in the first half. The best tackle you'd ever want to see in the referee.
What, against Man U or something like that? Obviously wiped the player out and didn't even touch the ball. That's the best challenge. Tackle.
And he obviously got penalised for a foul, and we just sort of get on with it. We're like, well, do you know what? We'll just defend the free kick. What difference does it make? And I think there was a lot of fouls in that game that were given against us that were harsh. I think Chelsea were quite quick to sort of fall down. We just get on with it, and we're just like, well, do you know what? You're not going to beat with in the air of a set piece anyway,
Chelsea wasn't much of a team which was like quite clean either. They weren't innocent. They were trying to play innocent. They were worse.
I think they gave away more
there was a time when I looked on my phone. Cucurella was Traore was running down the ball. Cucurella just ripped his top, nearly pulled him. I was like, oh wait, Cucurella's always been known for that, and he's never been booked for it. And again, big club fever, you may say. But again, I don't think it's big club fever. I think it's down to biasism from referees a little bit. They must have a little bit of thing still. Because match fixing is still a big thing, but it hasn't been looked at quite a lot by referees.
Thing is, though, they could have disallowed our winning goal. I mean, when I watched it back and I was watching the game live, I was like, oh, is he gonna, because of the interference? And they didn't. I don't think it's anything necessarily sinister. I think that just at the end of the day, referees are human. And I know, I mean, I used to referee low when I was a kid. I used to referee. And I know for a fact that sometimes I would be like, am I being biased? Am I giving fouls that I shouldn't be giving? Because I feel like I'm giving one team fouls all the times. It's a human job. They're not robots.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you can see naturally, if I was refereeing at the Stadium of Light, there was 49,000 people there, it's hard to give decisions against the teams. And I think that sometimes this is what happens with referees.
Especially when it's a home team shouting all the fans.
But fundamentally, it's not affected the results. And I think ultimately over the course of the season, if you're a good team, you might lose games off a refereeing decision every once in a while, and you might win games off them. But generally, if you do the things correctly, if you play hard, if you're committed like what we are, if you are strong defensively and all that good stuff that we do, you will win games of football, irrespective of what the referee gives.
Yeah. And obviously, again, with that game, we're looking at, again, how we played in the system. We're playing a 4-5-1, completely different from how we started off as. And for the past couple of games, it's been really working well. Do you think that that's something that we should be definitely playing with, maintaining going forward then?
Like a back five?
Yeah, the back five.
I think it's situational. I think we go away to Chelsea, we play it. We maybe go at home against Arsenal, we play it. I don't think we play it against Everton next week. I think we go back to the 4-3-3. I think...
I personally, I would change that. I would change that completely away from 4-3-3 to give Brovey a chance to play in the 4-4-2.
4-4-2. Oh, so you would go two up top?
Yeah, because obviously you looked at all last season with Wilson being on his own. You see sometimes where he's on his own, he just needs that someone else to be there. And Brovey, he's just showed from what he can do, holding the ball up. We've always been crying for that with Wilson. So to hold that ball up to play at Wilson, stuff like that may benefit in the 4-4-2 maybe. Sean Dyche even said he can win loads of games with Man United if he can play his 4-4-2. Then ideally it's a tactic which has never failed.
Mm-hmm. I think obviously playing the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, like we were saying before, go to your back five then. Obviously play a back five against Arsenal, like Connor said. Obviously play your back five against Liverpool and City. Obviously I would play the back five against all the top six teams, like the massive teams around were like Man City, your Liverpool's, Arsenal's, your Chelsea's,
100%.
Stuff like that. But obviously other times play a 4-2-2 or your 4-4-2, sorry, your 4-3-3, whatever formation you want to play.
You know what's right? The problem is if we're playing the four midfield with the five back, then just think when you have Diarra back, even where are you going to put Diarra? You know what I mean? We're going to have such a depth of a squad within our system. How the hell are we going to play everyone? we have loads of players who can really put that key asset in.
I
Hello,
think that,
Jack.
All right, Jack.
I think it's having options. For me, I look at the squad and it's about having different weapons and different tools. I think that our manager is very, very good at deciding how to play a team based on that team, and he will happily play a 4-4-2 if he thinks, like when we played Sheffield United at home last season, he went to 4-4-2, we win the game. I think if he thought that 4-4-2 would help us win a game, he would do it. If he thinks 4-3-3, if he thinks 5-4-1, if he thinks 5-3-2, he'll do it. And that's why I think that there isn't going to be a necessarily a formation he's married to. I think the basis is he likes the 4-3-3, and that's our building block. But he'll change it. I mean, even on Saturday, if you watch the way we played, we were a back five out of possession. But in possession, lots of times our centre-backs had license to go up. I mean, we saw Ballard break through and he ended up with the ball.
Yeah, we went back to that back four and all that, and the shifting of the whole midfield. It's like, I think it was a few times I looked at it, it's not just Ballard, Mukiele was shift. Then you got Ballard coming in from that central bit. You got good feeder there, whoever at the time. Then that immediately becomes that, you know, five midfield with the holding, with the wingers coming in. So we're going from that 5-4-1 to the 4-3-3. Or sometimes if we've got that extra man, you could play, probably like false number 9, we could play into that 4-4-2 going to attack maybe. Because we've seen Ballard leading the charge sometimes, go diving up front and staying up there.
Well, exactly. We saw with the goal. Gertrude, he plays the ball and follows it up. And if we play with a back four, he wouldn't be able to do that. Whereas because we played a 5 at the back, he's knowing, oh, do you know what? I can bomb here and join this attack. I think that it's interesting. And I think that the fact is the manager, we have to trust his assessment of all these games on an individual basis, because he is getting a tune out of every player and he knows what to do.
I was reading this podcast. I was watching this podcast the other day about all these managers, and someone said Reggie Lebret is that man with many tactics, where he's so versatile he could change. And obviously, we've seen it where different managers that stick to their certain tactic. Amorim. But Paul, what do you think about that then? With us being so versatile in tactic, do you think that's what makes us a bit more different, more stand out?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why possibly Big Sam's actually put Regis, third.
In the top 3, yeah.
He's top 3 actually in his ratings.
To us, I'll go higher than that, because obviously you see, man's like Pep Guardiola and on the spot, they get figured out. But he still can't figure us out in 9 games. Like, you know, you can figure teams out like that within 3 games, how you play. But we're always changing and always in motion. It looks so different, so complex, and that's what makes us stand out, isn't it?
But also we do the basics of football brilliantly, and that's what makes us good. It's not that, so like when Bielsa took Leeds up, they had this crazy pressing style and a crazy passing style, and it was new and it was unique, and that's why they finished 9th in the league. What we do is we do the basics of football well. We win duels, we win headers, we win set pieces, we score. Yeah, we track back, we run forward, we run a lot, we cover miles and miles. And fundamentally, how a team can't figure that out. We can't play against Chelsea this weekend. If we played the same performance against them as we did this past weekend, we played them again, they wouldn't know how to beat us, because fundamentally, you can't, you know, we outrun teams, we are physical, we are dominant. Chelsea had no answer to our, I mean, look at the striker. Nothing all game off Ballard.
Yeah,
you can't. You know, that's it. Fundamentally, that's not a thing.
Skill can only get so far. Skill gets you so far, but IQ and knowledge of the basics—that's what wins games, isn't it? When you look at the old-style managers, when you had the Fergies and all that, they were old-style tactic managers. They didn't try doing the fancy stuff. They sat back, we're just a manager. We're there to help you. You play. That's what seems to be what Reggie's doing. You see the players coming up with innovative play. They're coming up with how they want to play. It's so different to what you see the teams doing these days now. These managers want to be self-centered, but Reggie's giving the praise out to the players every single time as well. Do you think that's why what makes Reggie stand out as a coach?
It's the fact he takes every game on its individual basis. That's what stands out. He's not a philosophy manager like Russell Martin. Look at him. Plays the same way, and it doesn't work, but he sticks to it because that's the way he wants to play. Whereas our manager goes, do you know what? We're playing against Arsenal. we need to hurt them. We need to stifle their strengths and hurt their weaknesses. That's what our manager does every single game, and that's why you feel as a fan confident.
I think when you watch football, like as a fan, you watch it yourself, and you just look and go, right, we watch it ourselves and we go, we could have done this better, we could have done that better. I think Reggie must do this because you've seen when they do the training. When they're training, they're not switching off away from the game. So watch the last game. But watch the next team's opponents, how they play. And they'll watch them and go, you can see them talking on the treadmill while they're watching that game. Or the next opponent's coming up and they're watching and they're doing that. You don't see Reggie taking any lead in coaching. You see the Shakas taking the lead. You see some of the assistant coaches. Sometimes you see the Mukiele taking the lead even. Stuff like that. You see the players taking the lead more than anything. More than the coach. And I love that bit of style of football. Especially as I've done football coaching myself. That's something that you want to see as the players. You want to see the players come up with their own style, not the coach.
But yeah,
100%.
winning football's the funnest football.
Yeah, exactly. You don't
Jack,
see a sad Sunderland player, don't you? No.
Jack in the live chat says it's mad how calm he is. As well, he doesn't panic. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't panic whatsoever. He's a very calm manager.
Well, it's got right. You've seen us when we lost against Burnley, even. That time you seen Reggie, he didn't kick off. He didn't shout. He didn't start pointing fingers and screaming. He just looked like it was a blank canvas and studying. He's watching the game. He's studying it. So it means that he could take that note. So going, so we played them at Turf Moor, we got beat. So next time what we've got to do is look at this player, look at this player, look at this player. And we might be able to just do a bit better on that. And that's what you see difference. He looks so calm and composed. And again, you see that as the players. And obviously, the players replicate what the manager's attitude is in training all the time. If you're going to have a strict manager like, let's say, Paul Di Canio, attitude, shouting and screaming at players, you're going to see players fighting on the pitch and all that. You're going to see it. If there's that bad chemistry, bad communication in the club, you're going to see it kicking off on the pitch. But we just don't. And I think that's where we've really done well this season so far.
It's fine. Everyone's bought in. Lads, I'm going to have to go. So I'm going to love you and leave yous.
No bother, Connor.
I've really enjoyed being on this. And thanks for having us on. I also have a book out. So I'd say I can plug this. So I will quickly plug. I have a crossword book available at ALS. It's £10. It's very fun.
Yes, yeah. I've shouted out on the last video as well beforehand.
So get involved. It's at the ALS shop. But thanks, guys, for having us on. I'll see you.
No bother. Have a safe week.
Yeah, see you later, Connor.
See you next time.
Take care, man.
What a lovely guest. What a lovely guest. Right.
That was Connor Bromley. Thanks, Connor.
Yeah.
So,
but what channel is he from again?
Just search up Connor Bromley on YouTube.
Yeah, and you'll show up, yeah. Right.
You'll find him.
I mentioned earlier on about us looking at a winger to cover that right wing, and I personally agree with Connor. We need a proper right winger. And LinkedIn, coming from sources from my end, it came out of social media only about a day ago or two. I knew this last week from someone in Intel. Paul knows my intel. I'm not disclosing leaks, but we have been scouting the player over in the Portuguese league. We've had defenders on skates. He's got skills for days and he can shoot. Contributing 9 goal contributions in 8 games. Andre Luiz, a right-sided winger. Not many of us know about him, but all I know is a 23-year-old lad from Brazil. Some flair about him. And guess what? The same as Rafinha comes from the Portuguese league as a Brazilian. Is that something that we may see is the next development to the squad in January? Do you think that's the next steps maybe? He's not costing a lot. He's only going to cost us 8 million, roughly around. Do you think that's the right approach that we do? Paul or Brad, do you think that's the right deal that we do? Someone like Andre Luiz, unknown talent again, taking another gamble like what Connor said?
Yeah, why not? I suppose.
Yeah, I think by the way, I'm just putting Connor's link actually in the comments. So
yeah.
So you can tag it up, Brad.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, like what I'm going to say, Andre Luiz, fantastic player. And another player linked with Sunderland going to be his side. It's been looked at. Not sure. They have scouted him, but a lot of other teams in the Premier League is looking at him. Is Joshua Zirkzee. And that's a player that I definitely would not go for. I know we talk about Gamble, but again, I don't think he's the right guy. Another attacker, maybe. But that will push me down the pecking order completely.
Yeah. All the players we took a gamble have worked for him, so why not? Jack agrees with you. He says no for him. Xerxes.
Yeah, exactly. Like Xerxes' goal contributions for the past couple of seasons have been absolutely dire for Man United. Why would you want someone like that? Bear in mind, we've done it before where we brought someone absolutely dire in. Adam Johnson at Man City was crap. We turned him around before he became a molester. But we didn't know that. Obviously, Margaret Byrne knew that. So, again, we're looking at players still looking in January. Sunderland's only spent 194 million out of 240 million, leaving us with 15 million left to spend. Do we spend it wisely?
By the way, guys, Paul Wilson's just put the link in there. So if you haven't subscribed to Connor Bromley yet, please subscribe to him because I've just subscribed. So there you go, Connor. If you're watching again, that's me subscribe here as well.
So, again, obviously, we're doing that. He's been a brilliant guest. We've had some good guests on so far, haven't we?
Wow.
And it's really helped us out a lot. Again, we've got to thank him massively. But anyways, going away from transfer roundup now, we're going to do some announcements from the club before we start talking about the Rising Star section. And then we can start doing player ratings if you want right after. Yeah? So, big announcement. Kevin Ball is now back at the club, guys. Returning at his normal position as a club ambassador. Due to the two knobheads who ran the club before, who completely got rid of him, he's came back. He knows the club's idea. He came as a club ambassador, representing the club. So he's a spokesman in the Premier League to go to the board of directors. That's something that we really needed, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks to Carrillo Dreyfus for bringing him back as well.
Yeah, Kevin Ball bleeds red and white, even though he's a Scouser. Honestly, God, fantastic. I love it. And again, another announcement. Paul told me this. And Brad, you might be interested in this. Yeah?
I seen it this morning if I think what it is.
Yeah. Right, guys, in the comments, if you don't know this, Sunderland is now the November players meet and greet. And it's up for grabs at the club store, right? So if you pop by this week or next, or the week after, you're going to see barcodes all the way around the club store. Scan it. Do it, please. And enter your details. And what is, you get drawn for a chance to meet the player of Sunderland for a players meet and greet. You sign up. You get to have a chat with them. It's absolutely fantastic. We have no clue who it might be. It might be Shaka. It might be Noah Siddiqui, whoever. It might even be Ian Paveda. Oh, who doesn't love Ian Paveda? But
I actually wish the club could tell us who it is, but the club's
that will ruin the surprise, won't it? But obviously, again, if you haven't already, guys, please go along towards the club store. It's not online. You got to go in, scan that barcode, sign up. You might be able to meet a player or two by the end of November.
Please get involved.
This is not a paid promotion.
Mm-hmm. Please get involved as well, because I've done this in the past. I've went to meet and greets in the past with
exactly. And honestly, God, you can get to know so much what's happening behind the scenes. They'll tell you, they'll gossip, they'll have a laugh with you. You can get some pictures with them. Absolutely great, and you meet some lovely lads. I see them on the regular, so I'm not signing up. I see them a lot at the stadium. Lovely blokes, but just do it, guys. Fantastic, get behind the club.
Funniest bit is, right, we saw Tony Mowbray and we took him some Rebels, and he really loved them.
Mind you, though, I'm going to say this, working at the stadium, who used to bring his Jaffa cakes for me?
It was him.
So, yeah. By the way, Jaffa cake's a cake, not a biscuit. Mike Dodds, if you're watching. Mike Dodds, he said it was a biscuit, and Tony said it was a cake. So,
he'll not be watching.
I know, he won't watch it, but, well, he's not got a job, so, he might be sitting in his bedroom, being a bit of a miserable kid. Nah, he's not me. He's not you, Paul.
No,
he's not Brad. He's not Brad, definitely, because Brad plays on this bloody Daft Child game.
I'm pleased you not mentioned it.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning it, okay?
Yeah,
right.
No mentioning that.
Away from them announcements. Rising Stars section. Talking about Sunderland Academy now. A little bit about it, why not? And also, coming up, before we talk about that, Sunderland take on Newcastle Ladies at St James's. Picks her up. I don't know which banding it is for season card holders at the moment, but get behind the lasses. However, anyways, back to the Rising Star section. Who's been watching the under 21s game? Or keeping tabs?
I was keeping tabs of Saturday's game on YouTube against Stoke City. I was keeping an eye out on that one.
Well, no, I was on about against Colchester.
On the coach, no, I will watch that.
Obviously, I'll do like 2 goals.
Yeah, I was watching that.
And then again, against Stoke City, he played well.
He did.
So again, is Abdullah on that research? We don't know. And again, some really good standout under 21 players who played well. We got Ben Middlemass who played well. You know them, Burke and all that Marshall Burke, great players. But coming up on the 29th, so that's tomorrow, Sunderland go to Belgium to take on Anderlecht in the under 21s European Premier League. Well, the World Premier League, 7 o'clock British time. It's going to be on YouTube. I don't know which site it's going to be on. I'll try to find it and share it on share it to Branch and share it on our TikTok and whatever page we have.
Club's YouTube channel, I think.
Yeah, but make sure you tune in, guys, and get behind the young lads. They are future players. Get behind them, see what they got to come. And then, on the 25th, just gone, Sunderland under 18s beat Man United's under 18s. Man United under 18s has been undefeatable all season. And the goal scorer was Liam Hunt, the 16-year-old who just came into the academy. Like, just came into Sunderland's, under 18s group. Fantastic goal it was, well taken. That's off to you, lad. Ching, ching. I get against when you turn 18. No, not really. So, that's... And then, Loan Watch. I don't know about... I haven't been keeping tabs on any of our players who've been out on loan. Sadly, this week ends because I know Huggins is still not playing for Wickham. But who else was out on loan? Matty Young,
You got
Salford.
You've got Matty Young.
That
You've
was
got
great.
Alan Brown.
He performed. Alan Brown again. He's doing well at Borough. Still starting to play. How did they get on Borough on the weekend?
Yeah.
Does anyone know how Borough get on? Did they win?
By the way, I've just
I think that's...
I've just seen that, bro. You know when you mentioned about the under 21s game on
Yeah.
Wednesday, it's at the Stadium of Light.
Oh, so it's that Stadium of Light. So
Yeah.
tickets might be up for sale, guys.
Club's announced it's a 7 o'clock.
So it's not Belgium. Is the tickets up for sale for it?
Yeah, tickets are on sale now. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff on
Paul,
Wednesday.
I'm going to get some money. We're going to book them tickets tonight. Because we went to the ones against Benfica and we won.
Yeah,
Brian, do you want to come on?
look who played against us. Can you remember? Do you
You
remember?
want to come along, Brad, tomorrow with me to watch you in the 21s play against Anderlecht?
It's on Wednesday.
I'll see, yeah. I'll
Thursday,
see.
29.
That should,
Well, yeah, we're going to see how.
that should be interesting.
Paul, we can try getting our tickets either today or tomorrow, yeah? Right, so I'll have to get some money and send it over to you. But again, obviously, that's something great to see how can we competing in something like that. Again, your mate, the Mag, says that we're not in a European competition because we're not in Europe. That's legit proved my point. So thank you for leaking them fixtures. But anyway, Brad.
Club announced as well, the under 18s has got a game on the 1st of November at 12 o'clock. They're actually playing Liverpool.
Yeah. Anyways, Brad, it's your favourite time of the day. The player ratings.
See how we go. Brad,
So-
player ratings. Here we go.
What's your gonna score for this on the player ratings? Yeah. Right. We need to go get a little chime thing going on in the background when we do this. Right. Welcome to the player ratings section time now. Dead serious now. No bullshit, no cap. Actually, you can bullshit all you want. People in the comments, if you want to give you ratings of the players as well, be our guest. We have got the comments up on the side as well to have a look at. So, Brad, we'll put that on the side there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what you said. But anyways, first of all, we are going to talk about the man of the hour, the goalkeeper, Robin Roos. So we're going to go in the order of Paul first this time, because we'll always go you first. So, Paul,
Yeah.
what's your rating for Robin Roos?
Robin Roos gets a solid 9.
Brad?
8.5.
8.5. Why are you 8.5? Honestly, explain it, elaborate.
I don't know. I quite enjoy I quite enjoy what Roker Report does. I quite enjoy me put my 0.5s on the end. I don't know why. I just do what they do.
But mind you though, I'm going to stand up and go against you. I'm agreeing with the Paul with a solid 9. He kept a good performance despite conceding a goal against Chelsea. It was a well-taken goal by Chelsea, really, when you think about it. But he went through his legs, nothing like you do, but he didn't put his head down. He still bounced back. Some good saves, played a key part. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Next player, our right back, Trey Hume. Paul.
8.
Brad?
Again, I've gone for another 8.5 for him.
That was 8.5 for someone for Brad, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm going to go with an 8 because, again, he's done well, but again, sometimes he's a little bit beaten on them races. But apart from that, that was it. Right. Next player, Nori Mukwele. Paul.
10.
Brad.
I won't go too much of a 10. I'll go 9.5.
Shut off! You trying to copy off the bloody report things, man. The Roker report with the 0.5s. Shut off. Right, you're not smart enough to be part of the Roker report. You're not smart enough.
He's got the Roker Report website up, I can tell.
He's trying to copy the mini. You're talking shite. I'm going to give Mukiele a solid 10 as well, Paul, because obviously he played a massive part in that back line. Right, next player, Dan Ballard.
9.
Brad?
9.
I'm going to go for the 0.5 this time, 9.5. But mind you, I have a very good reason why I have to do that. Because he was a really good leader, but I just think he was a little bit smidge weaker than Mukwele at the back that day. But you still a solid performance for him.
I knew there was a 8.5. There was a 0.5 somewhere.
Right, next player, Lutrell Gatrida.
8.5.
8.5.
I'm doing 8.25.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
Because of that goal, legit, was just that perfect ping pass for that goal. And honestly, God, that was like orgasmic. Love it. Better than when you have that go in that nice, lovely bath, and you just feel the bubbles just like, bloop. Oh, lovely. Especially when you relax an eye. Right, next player, Ronaldo Mandava.
7.
He gets a solid 9 for me. Obviously, except for that goal where he conceded for Chelsea, I think after that he didn't pull the foot wrong. 9 for me.
I haven't seen an 8 because, again, I hear what Brad says, but also as well, few rash challenges, composure might be needed a little bit for him. Next player, our man, the skipper, Granit Xhaka.
10.
To be honest, he was my man of the match on Saturday, and I'll give him a 10 as well.
I'll give him an 8. No, I'll give him a 9. I looked down at the wrong player. I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9.
That's why I've got my things beside us. So,
I should really have it right above here so I can look at it right in front of us like that so I can see. Instead of looking down, I'm looking at the wrong name.
Fair enough, I've got it all on one screen. I've got the chat here, and I've got my notes to this side.
But yeah, I've got Xhaka as a 9. Great captain performance, but I think someone's got a bit of a higher rating. Right. Next player. I'm going to say it, Noah Siddiqui.
9.
To be honest, he was my close second man of the match, so I'll give him a 10 as well as a bonus. So there you go.
Siddiqui's a 10 all the way. I love that lad. Honestly, God, he's got more crap than anyone going. He's got legs for days he can run. My God. And honestly, God loves his character as well. He's a solid 10. I think he outperformed Xhaka a little bit. But I'm saying this as a non-biased way as well, because he is outperforming him. Right. Next player, Enzo Lefebvre.
We got the thing.
Enzo Lefebvre. You don't understand.
10. Enzo Lefebvre was my man of the match. So he gets a solid 10.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I can't argue with that. To be honest, because look what he done. He got the ball back. That clip on Facebook what I was watching just before we came on live. He lost the ball, and then he got the ball back. I think it was in the second half at some point. I don't know where it was, but it was sometime in the second half. He got the ball back quite well. But for me, I'm giving him a 9.
I'm giving him a 9 because there's effort in the wing. He gives it. He's not a winger. I hate him playing on the left wing.
I would
So,
love him to play in the 10 or the centre midfield.
Yeah, exactly. A 10 role or the centre midfield. But again, nothing goes by him. He's giving it his all.
Yeah.
He's giving it the passion, exactly what we're talking about. I love him. Great player. No, number 9. Me. Next player, Bertrand Traore.
Oh,
7.
I give him a 0.5 more. I give him a 7.5.
I'll give him a 0.5 less. 6.5.
I did put 6.5 at first, but I changed it to 7.5 because
I'm saying this because I've given him very low ratings before. And he's done something well with that lead up of the goal, but apart from that, where the hell was he? I didn't highly rate him. I think we could really improve in that right wing position, like what was mentioned before. But it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? We've got to just move on to the next and the next after. So, yeah. And last but not least, from our starting 11, Wilson Isidore.
For his goal, 9.
Brad?
9.
8.5.
Come on.
Despite his goal, I'm going to say this now. When he's getting that ball in the box, he looks deadly. But apart from that, what else is he doing? He's a goal scorer, but he's not doing anything else. So it's 8.5 for now. Until he starts doing a little bit more, maybe he might impress me.
Except from that goal, I thought he looked a bit isolated at the weekend again. I thought he looked
Exactly. That's why I like Bobby. That's why I think Bobby should be up with him.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah. Anyways, going on to the bench now. Chris Rigg.
Chris Rigg, ole.
Solid 7.
Brad?
7.5.
6.
Wow. There.
Honest to God, he's a good player, but again, he's young, he's got a lot to learn. He's getting a 6 because of the obvious reason of, again, he's coming in the Premier League. He's still getting bodied off the ball. He's technically good. He's there, but he needs that little more. He needs that little bit more of that other passing. He loses the ball too much. He needs to if he wants to keep that ball, he needs to keep it properly and start looking at the options, what he has. He's not doing that. So he needs to start raising that bar a little bit for me. Right. Next player, Brian Brobby.
8.
9.
I've said this a 10. I've really looked down on him. But for the little time where he came on to 15 minutes, he held the ball up. And he did it more than just once. He tries to hold the ball up. You see him doing it. Not just that as well. He actually ran. I always say, run. And you see him running. It's not fast, but this time at least he's put a little bit more effort into what he's done. He's pushed himself really hard. And I really rate it.
Yeah.
Last but not least, I love the substitution myself. Chemstein Talby.
10.
9.5.
I give him me man of the match off the bench, and I'm breaking the 10 rule. And I'm saying a 20. He was far beyond the better player of everyone else. He came on, showed so much electricity on the pitch. It's made Chelsea really shit the pants. I saw some brown skin marks on Cucurella's boxers, when he came on. And Reece James couldn't keep him quiet either. He was amazing, honestly. So, great performance. Probably man of the match. But, we're going to go around now talking about man of the matches and why we picked them. So, Paul, who's your man of the match?
My man of the match was actually Enzo Lefebvre.
Explain a little bit more.
Well, put this way, I was actually happy the way Enzo was actually at the weekend. I actually agree with Regis. Well, actually, so was Anthony Mackham as well, because I was actually on his watch along at the weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously.
both of us was frustrated when he actually took off Enzo Lefebvre.
Who came on for the fair?
I think it was Brobbey that came on for him.
No.
No, it was
Robbie
for
came on for Wilson. It was
Oh.
Talby.
Yeah, it would have been Derby, but we were frustrated that Enzo actually came off the pitch. We would have actually kept him on.
Yeah. Brad, who's your man in the match?
Granit Xhaka.
Explain why.
Just 3 words.
Don't just say because he's a captain, he does that and all that. That's the title of his job. Explain what technical abilities did he do which made you go, holy shit, he's meant in that, specifically that game.
It's the passes what he does for me. He really, really. How can I describe it? It's hard. It's hard to be able to describe it.
It's because obviously when you do pick your man in the match, it's got to be something that he's done outstandingly in that game. And what you think will go like, holy crap, he's mint. He's irreplaceable. Apart from him being the franchise player, I think that he's just a normal player. Maybe I see it as in the Premier League. That's because I've seen him at Arsenal. My opinion, I've always said Talby's isn't a man in the match because, again, when you're 1-1 at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, at the end of the game, you're not going to get that goal normally. When Stamford Bridge is loud, by our fans, and their fans start picking up near that time because they thought, point to Sunderland, they've done well, that was me as well, start chanting. And Talby came out and shut them up.
I'm going to say, but their fans was quiet all game. It was our fans that were making noise.
To be honest, I agree with Paul on that one. They were very quiet.
Yeah. Then obviously, Talby came on though. Then Scott, did he do anything wrong when he came on that pitch? No. Did he lose any balls? No. He played out on that wide left and he was sprinting like hell.
Played out of his skin when he came on.
So that's exactly what I say. It's a player with passion. Again, our guest said, Connor, put him out on the left. Put him out on the left. But who do you put on the right?
So let me guess, against David Moyes' Everton this time next week, who would you put in that team then? Let me guess you would start Talby against David Moyes.
100%.
We'll talk about Thursday. We'll talk about that then. We'll do Thursday Night Live.
We still talk a little bit about it now. Because obviously we're on the topic of it. So again, we could go more in depth about it. But
Adringer could be back then as well.
Adringer wasn't even injured or anything. I just don't know where he went.
What? He was injured.
Yeah.
Injured?
Was it not?
Yeah.
For me, obviously against Everton, I will go back to that 4-3-3. I will go back to that. Obviously, Roofs in goal. Obviously, Ballard, Mukiele, centre back. Hold on. Ballard.
Alderweireld is back, isn't he?
Alderweireld is back. I forgot about him. So
We're
he'll be back there.
We're not sure.
Concussion protocol's only 1 week off. He's had 1 week off.
Yeah, it's only 1 week off. So
he's been back in training. He's been back in training in a day. So
for me, where does that leave Trey Jumbo? Where does that leave him with Mukiele? Where does that leave Ronaldo with Trey Jumbo on that left-hand side as well?
Ideally, I think if we were going into the next game against Everton, maybe rest Mukiele, maybe looking for a bigger game afterwards. So you do have a bigger game afterwards, Arsenal.
Because for me, Gertrude doesn't lose his place. I'll keep him in.
That's a headache and a half. Because I would.
I'm going to say this against Everton. If we play this system, I'm going to say now at that back line, I would happily love to see the Alderweireld rest this game still and just play Ballard and Gertrude.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
And that gives Mukiele rest. Keep him on that right. And probably on the left with Everton, stop Masuaku. Maybe let Ronaldo come on a little bit later, maybe. A little bit of tactics smarting. Midfield-wise, do we start off-lit midfield? Yeah, definitely, yeah. But definitely who's going to be...
Definitely.
The three midfielders going to play the extra centre midfielder then. That's naturally Diarra's position. Obviously, if we want to play Talby on that right left-hand side, we would want to play Enzo in that playmaker's role in the midfield, because he is a playmaker when you think about it.
Yeah.
He's tracking the ball, he's doing key passes. That right side now is a big improve where we need to improve. So we can't put a Dinger on there, because the Dinger's a right-footed winger as well.
Mhm.
Because the Dinger likes to cut in. So maybe his Traore might be still starting.
You know who I would put on the wing, but people might disagree with me.
Nienda,
Put Mienda on the right wing and put Isidore.
I
up top.
would. That's what I would definitely agree with. I'll put Mienda against Everton on the wing.
Yeah.
And then put Isidore. Actually, against Everton, I wouldn't rest Isidore. I wouldn't want to rest Isidore and play Robbie against Everton. And see what he can do if he starts. So we've never given him a chance to start yet. There's stuff like that.
So
if
you
we
reckon-
do that on the regular, on that occurrence, if we start seeing these teams having bad runs, they get some of these players on. You do.
Then it's could we not put Isidore on the wing?
You could put
You
him
can
on
play on the left. But I'd rather have Talby on that left.
Yeah, I would probably have James.
You put Robbie in that main focal point. And then later on in the game, let's just say if hypothetically if we're just winning 1-0, we want to change up the second half and turn up a little bit more in the attack. Then we change from that 4-3-3, drop whoever's at extra midfield like Enzo to the wide position maybe, and then drop whoever that right winger is and put over there Talby. Then we go into that 4-4-2 and put on Isidore. So we swap over Isidore and that right wing. So that means that Isidore comes in the attack, Talby goes there, Enzo goes there. Then we've got that other two midfield there of Siddiqui and Xhaka, which is a good combination working out at the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
that's not a bad shout.
Because it's how you transition the game. It's how you will step up that where you go, right, we need to step up a little bit. Do we take the foot off or do we keep going? Against Everton, Everton's a team who can't defend. At the moment, they've got a good defender in Jared Brantford, but everyone else looks like headless chickens at the moment. David Moyes is coming to this stadium with the rare Sunderland fans going to be right at his fucking throat. Pardon me language. I shouldn't have said that.
Well, if there
But
is though,
he's going to have about 40,000 Sunderland fans really want to go to this game now, because this is the guy who relegated us and made us go through this terrible time what we had before. This is all karma, and maybe if we play our karma well, we could start putting impact players on later on in the game. Then go, right, David Moyes, we're winning 1-0. You know what? We don't feel sorry for you. Screw us over. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, whatever. Just kill them off. But guess what, though? I do not see Pickford playing this game.
Do you not?
needs
Nope.
I think Brad.
And just think for 1 second what he last said. His son's in the Prem, he doesn't want to play against her.
True.
So this
And that's what he said when we got relegated to League One and it was the second season at Everton. If his son was to come back, he does not want to play against us. And who's that backup goalkeeper? I don't even know who it is.
I don't know really, but if you think though, Everton's actually come to us. You know, fair enough. Our confidence is high, but Everton's confidence is not high. Yeah, they're coming to us on a defeat.
They got absolutely walloped and they've not had a good record in the past few games.
They've
David
actually-
Moyes, fair enough,
they've-
he's a save
they've
for
lost.
Everton, but I just do not think it. Mind you though,
They've lost 3 games under David Moyes so far.
I would not get too carried away with Everton because remember what Everton were before we got relegated. They were our biggest bogey team, and so
Yeah,
Coney stepped up into the team and then scored 2 goals. Like you can it again. I think that's when we said about we can't take the foot off the brake. What I said last season, look, we got to keep going. We got to keep the same winning side. But again, you want to start seeing some other players starting maybes, see what they can do. Maybe if we just start the same line of what we had before, but at Isidore and probably someone like, I don't know, like Lefay, rest, and just put on Talby and Robbie for a change. See what happens.
Backup goalkeeper, by the way, for Everton is Mark Travers. If anyone can remember him from Stoke City.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
crap. He was crap.
23 seasons, absolutely awful.
So,
Do you think if Chelsea's goalkeeper could save Talby's goal, do you think he could?
no.
Nah, it's alright. Honestly, God, But again, we can't just go off past experience. We've got to look forward. Again, anything can change. It's the game of football of two sides.
Yeah.
So
By the way, ref
Yeah.
has been announced already for Monday next week.
keep that
Thomas,
for Thursday.
Thomas
For
Wimble?
Wednesday.
I'll
Yeah.
keep that for Thursday. He's
Yeah.
been
Keep that for Wednesday or Thursday whenever we go on. Excited. Yay. Actually, on Thursday, I've got a meal with Portugal. Can't do Thursday, so it's going to have to be on Wednesday night. Wednesday night live.
I thought he was going to the game on Wednesday, aren't you?
can move it to Friday.
Yeah,
Could
Friday
do
night live.
Can we do Friday Night Live? Are you not?
Right,
I'm
guys, you heard it right. This was behind the scene moments here where you just got for free. Right? We've now just disclosed that it won't be Thursday or Wednesday night, so we're really busy. It's going to be on Friday night.
'Cause
Yes.
it is. We can discuss about the under 23s game on Friday.
Under 21, yeah, we can.
Don't forget, guys, as well. Friday is Halloween night. Oh, we are going to be a spooky one.
All right, we need to dress up scary. Let's pour Joe Little masks on. He looks like a zombie.
It's alright. I don't need to be dressed up. I'm scary enough. My dad says anyway.
Yeah, that's such a lovely thing to say. Yeah, you comments must be buzzing.
It is.
But honestly, God, it's been absolutely amazing. So, like, obviously, Halloween night might do some little, features and talk about some goofy shit about the Stadium of Light. So, uncover truths of the hauntings in the Stadium of Light, which has been spotted. I'll talk about even. So, make sure if you're not trick or treating or not helping kids pick up candy out of the doorstep, lock your door. Tell the kids to start off, eat some apples, and subscribe and like to our videos. And come along to our next live. Sod the children. Make them watch this live too. Sod trick or treating. Tell them to watch us with their fancy dress uniform on. Because honestly, God, right? We're on 500 now subscribers already. I lost track of how many more on. So please make sure if you haven't already, subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny.
How many won, bro?
508.
508. We're on 509, so we lost a subscriber. Holy crap. But anyways, if you're on this live and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny. If you haven't left a like yet, leave a like. If you haven't shared it with your mum, dad, dog, dead nana, whatever, share it with them. Honestly, God, we're not a bad channel. We're not that bad as what people may say. Honestly, God, we're rising. We're rising. We've got a young lad horsing. He's just hit puberty, for Christ's sake. Look at him. You got a guy who never shaves. Guess what, guys? How about, okay, if we could get to 600 subscribers by the end of the year, Paul will shave his beard for us.
Go on, Paul. Share that fucking videos.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Deal?
Deal.
Yes!
Yes. Go on.
Michael's going to be so proud of the channel.
I knew that.
Right, guys. Only 92 subscribers to go. Go and fucking smash it and get there by a month's time or something like that. I don't bloody care where it is. Not just by the end of the year, so you can get a shave his beard.
Okay, right. So this is when I'm going to say this now, Brad. Yeah, don't go off on a tantrum and say some weird crap of autism.
Yeah.
Okay, just guys, just like and subscribe. Okay, otherwise, okay, I'm going to get this guy to come raid your fridge. He loves his food.
Which guy you
Well, I'm pointing out the only guy who stood to me left.
you're pointing at the ball.
Well, Brad. Brad's next to us.
Brad's that way.
Well, that way, whatever. I'm looking at I'm just doing this now. Whichever side he's on. I'm looking on this side and I'm seeing him there. You might be there, you might be there, whatever.
I'm the horse side, I'm top left.
Brad's up there with me. Because Brad's there, you're there.
Your camera's inverted. Get off the bloody iPhones and get back to Samsung.
Tim, bro, my side, you're up here, and Brad's up here.
So Brad's on the top left on your end.
Yes, and I'm down here.
Paul's down there.
Oh, little Laura. Right. So, guys, you heard this here. Get 600 subscribers. Paul's going to shave his beard. Why not? It's going to look like a massive egg. We might just scramble his feelings with Sunderland by the end of the year as well. What may happen, we don't know. But, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Honestly, God, be great. And also, as well, honourable shout out to one of our moderators who's been through that. He's now an Anthony. Congrats, Lauren, for being an Anthony. Over so proud here. And also, as well, what you went through, you've been fantastic. So thank you, Lauren. And also, you'll be getting a nice little gift from us as a channel. I'll be bringing it to the Arsenal game, and I'm going to record it for the channel, put on as a short. So that don't cry. Okay? So, guys, we're giving channel. If you can join part of our community, give one of us a message on social media. You can join as a moderator, you can join as a project manager, whatever. Give us information, what you think, whatever. You can be a reporter, even look at our stuff and give us some information. It's our pay job, you're a volunteer. But guess what, guys? You're part of the community. You get in the chat, you have a good laugh, have a good crack and taking the piss out of the mags who's crying up the other side river because they're only, the crap. So, like and subscribe. Join the community.
Anyways, let's wrap this up, guys. Take care. And we'll
Ciao,
see
ciao.
you.
Bye.
See
Friday.
you all on Friday.